Well, happy Tuesday. I hope you had a good Monday, a good weekend before that. Remember, it's Monday morning when I'm filming this Tuesday video. So I hope you had a good weekend, even though that was a day ago already. This is what my garage looks like on a Monday morning. You'll see I got tools all over the place. I've got screwdrivers and drills, drill bits. Oh, are we gonna have our gardeners and yarn trimmers back for yarn trimmers? Yard trimmers. Yeah. Anyway, I got garbage and just stuff all over this place, but hopefully it's gonna all get cleaned up soon because I finished a project this weekend and I want to show it off. This is a record player table that's gonna go in my parents' house. So I had to cut out these holes here to make the wood connect together. And it's really hard to make square holes in a piece of wood. You don't get to use a drill, so that was fun. But yeah, there it is. It's gonna hold a record player and a bunch of albums that my mom likes to listen to. So that's going over to their house. And hopefully that was a pretty big project, and it made a mess of this whole place. So hopefully that gets cleaned up here in the next day, and we can have a clean garage to bring the piano back out again. But you know what? It's good timing. It's good timing for us to not have the piano out today, because I know there's people who have those broken instruments and stuff. Maybe the video yesterday wasn't enough to get your instrument playing again. I know there's some repair issues with some people. Some people are stuck without an instrument for a while. I'm still looking at 4 instruments from kids who weren't picked up underneath my camera stand here. So those kids don't have instruments. So I want to do something today that you can follow along with even if you don't have instruments, and you can still earn some credit in Oregon Trail even if you're not practicing your instrument right now. So you might need one of these, a computer. What are you watching this on? I don't know. You can do it on a phone. It's just a tiny screen. You can do it on an iPad, any tablet, anything that has Google. Because today we're going to be jumping into the Google's Chrome Music Lab. So let's jump over to this computer and I'll show you how to do all this. We want to go to Google, and we're gonna go to Google Chrome Music Lab. There it is. And the one we want is Songmaker. We're going to use Songmaker, but if you did happen to click on this one, then Songmaker is just the very first one right there. So we click Songmaker, and we're already into the thing. Basically what this is that it's a way to write music. And there's a lot of settings over here and stuff that we can do later, but there's 3 main things that we need to focus on today. And it's down here at the bottom. We have this drum beat sort of thing. There's only 2 lines of it at the very bottom. You might have to scroll down to see it. I don't know for sure. On mine it came up right away. But that's there so that we can make some drum beats. And we just click the things that we want to play. And there's a beat. You hit that play button. And if I didn't stop it, it would keep repeating over and over and over and over again. But that's your drum beat. Then there's some melody. and you just click the box that you want to fill, and it'll fill it in with a color, and it'll play a sound. Right there, I just made a scale. And just like in our scales when we play them on our instruments, we start on a bottom note, and we end on the top note of the same note. So like the D major scale. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, D, D. They're both red in this case. And we can change which scale we want to use later. But that's the main scale. We could get rid of, let's see, I want to do an arpeggio so I can show you. Those are steps. It's just like one step up. But if we skipped over this box here, and we did that one there, and then we skipped that one, and then we go up to the high D, now we've got an arpeggio. And lastly, the third kind of main thing that we need to worry about for today at least is the rhythm. You'll see there's a grid, right? We can fill the box in as it goes up and down, the note changes, but the rhythm can change forwards to back. So right now we have two, it looks like there's like two smaller boxes and then a thick line. Two smaller boxes, thick line. Two smaller boxes, thick line. We have four of those two groupings together before it turns into a darker, a darker group of four. So we've got, basically what it's showing is quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note. Here's another second measure of quarter notes. So if I wanted to do 4 quarter notes per measure, there's my 4 Ds, 4 Es, 4 F sharps, 4 Gs, and this is basically quarter notes. There's 4 quarter notes per measure, and we play that. And since I didn't stop it, it's just gonna loop. So let's get rid of our quarter note. Actually, you know what? We could do a pepperoni pizza by turning these into eighth notes. If I fill both of those in, now we have ba, 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 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And we can make our pepperoni pizza all the way up there. So we have a drum beat, and we have basically a melody. We have a melody going up the scale. The third thing that is mentioned in the assignments tab, if you looked over at the assignments tab yesterday and saw that a number 3, a way to get a wagon part bonus or multiplier at the end of the year in Oregon Trail, there's an assignment in there, and it refers to this video. And in that assignment, it talks about how you need to make a song with a beat, a melody, and then it says a harmony. So we've already got a beat and a melody here. A harmony would just be adding some more notes up here. We know this is going to be another D if we're in D major. So we could do some stuff with, I don't know, we could play like, I'll run with some Ds and F sharps because those usually sound good together. And then I do some, this goes up to a G. And maybe I want to bring this down a little bit. I think this should sound good because it still uses an orange. If you kind of keep coming back to the same note, it's going to help it not sound so crazy. Have a little bit of organization to it. So here I'm going to make another one, and I've got a yellow. I had yellow over here. Music likes to repeat. We like to hear the same thing over and over again. So maybe this time I'll do again red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow. But now I've got this yellow one down here instead of the red one. I think that'll sound kind of cool. And then we go up to a green. I know the green is up here. It's also the end. What if I go up to a green and I just come down the scale? So you got green, yellow, orange, orange. When it repeats, red. And that should make a pretty good loop. Let's see what happens. And it repeats. So we have our drum part. We have our scale. Bum, bum, pepperoni pizza, pepperoni pizza, pepperoni pizza. And our harmony at the top. That would be a perfect example of something that would get you the wagon part multiplier if you can figure out now how to send it to me. So we have our piece here. I haven't changed any settings at all, but I'm done. I finished it, and I'm done. It's lunchtime. I have to go do math homework, whatever it is. Let's go ahead and save this. So I click save, and it says your song is saved at this link. It's talking about this link inside this box. If you click copy link, it highlights that link. It doesn't actually copy it anywhere yet. If I go and try to paste that without doing anything else, and I've already exited Chrome, I just lost everything. Make sure you actually copy. So it's highlighted. Now you do the right click or whatever kind of click to bring up that idea or whatever, and you copy. Now it's actually copied to the clipboard. At that point, you can go into whatever you do. Here's Microsoft Word. What do I got a bunch of scale fingerings up. Cool. And you can copy and paste it right into there. And that turns into that. Now watch, I'm gonna totally exit this. I've closed out of the internet. I lost everything, right? No, because I can take this that I pasted, and I didn't set it up as a link right from Word. I just pasted it on there. So now if I copy this, go back to Google, or it'll bring up the HUSD homepage, I think. Now if we paste that link into there, hit enter, it's gonna bring up what I had already saved. And we're back. So the way you can send that to me is by just copy and pasting that link into any old email, you know? Your email, your school email, parents' email. You could paste that link into Remind, and you could just send it via Remind, whatever, that way. That works too. Cool. That's the assignment there. Let's continue on and see what else we can do with Chrome Music Lab. I've cleared everything out. By the way, that's what this restart button is up here. If you want to just restart everything, clear that out. Let's dive into our settings. This is where the magic happens. Length. That last thing I made was pretty short. It was only 4 measures long. They call it 4 bars in this program. Bars, measures, kind of the same thing. So if we want a longer song, let's make it as long as possible. 16 measures is as big as we can go. I still want to stick with a major scale, but you can change it to a pentatonic scale, which means there's only 5 notes instead of our 8 notes. Or you can change it to the chromatic scale, where there's all 12 notes instead of our 8 notes. But we're going to stick with the easy level for now. We'll call this medium level. The default settings are easy. So here's medium level. Beats per bar, 4. That's the regular 4/4 time, 4 quarter notes per measure, what we've been doing. You can do 5 quarter notes per measure. You can do 6 quarter notes per measure. You can do 7. Looks like you can't go any higher than 7. How low can we go? Only down to 2. So I'm going to stick with 4/4 because it's the easiest to use and make something cool with. Where it says split beats into, that's where each beat was split into 2 boxes in the other one. So we could go up to 8th notes. You could play 1, 2, 3, and 4. But we can do more. We could go up to 4. And 4 would allow us to do 16th notes. So where we have 4 notes shoved into 1 beat. We're just starting to get to 16th notes in 6th grade when this whole thing happened. But I'm going to leave it as 4 because it gives me more stuff I can do later. Default is starting on middle C. If you do D, now it's going to be in D major. So if you're most comfortable with playing your violin, viola, cello, bass in the key of D, you might want to make that change. It'll just make it sound more like what you expect. You can plug it in there and you can actually play it back. If you know what color note each note is, you can play it on your instrument and it'll sound right. As long as you're playing in D major. Now, I'm gonna, because I want to be fancy, why not? I'm gonna change mine to the key of G. So now if I were to play along on the violin, I need to make sure I know how to play my G major scale. And just to give myself as big of a canvas to paint on, I'm gonna do a range of 3 octaves. So this is as big as I can do, basically, in the key of G. And now you'll see everything's a little bit smaller. Where's my bottom note? My bottom note is now the dark green. So a dark green is a G. So there's a crazy little melody. Let's see what it sounds like. And these are all 16th notes, so it's going to be faster. And you'll see I have all of this room still left over here that I could keep writing more. Let's add a bass line, or a beat to it. I like repetitive stuff. So I'm going to just kind of keep doing this bass line, or beat. Sorry, technically this, I suppose, is the bass line because it's the lowest, but that's my melody. Let's see what that sounds like now. And then I'll add some stuff in. Let's take a look at the colors here so we know what colors are gonna sound good. This is the beginning one, so we're starting this low G. I'm gonna start off by putting a green one there. We have a lot of oranges in a row, so I'm gonna mark some orange up here just so I know to kind of follow this idea. So you got notes together. And there's some red and some yellows and orange. Maybe we'll just do something like that. It's pinks. I'm gonna do the outsides of those groups of 3. So I'm gonna label purple and red and then dark green and pink. Purple and red. Dark green and pink. Da, da, da. Since that went down and back up, yellow must be important. So let's throw a yellow one in there. And then we're back to the dark greens. Let's bring that dark green up. Get rid of that one. This is too low. I want this stuff to be higher. We'll go to the next purple up. And the next dark green up. And I just kind of want to connect those. Maybe every beat. Bum, 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 bum. Maybe I'll go back up to the yellow. Got a little bit of a yellow pattern here. Maybe I'll go right in between these 4. I can go right there. That balances it all out. Visually, I don't know what it's going to sound like. Then we'll keep that pattern going there. If we go there, this goes down and up. Let's go up and then down. I probably shouldn't have made that like so long because I want it to repeat. So we got to figure out how many bars I have to erase. How many measures did I make this? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's a 5th measure. So I'm going to go into 7. So there's another one. We got 3 things. This one's in the key of G. Rhythm, melody, and harmony. See how I'm pretty much kind of using the same colors in both? Once we get into this area here, you don't see a lot of the dark greens anymore. We kind of started dark green on the left, moved towards these warmer colors, reds, orange, yellows, and then we moved back into the cooler colors and ended with the dark green again. It's a cool way to kind of visualize what music might sound like. Alright, I want to show you one more thing before we wrap this up and let your creativity just kind of come to life. We're going to do the chromatic scale. I keep hitting the wrong button on this computer. Okay. The chromatic scale opens up all 12 notes that we have available to us in real music. So we're going to keep things simple. We'll do 2 bars, beats per bar 4, split beats into 2. So this is, we're using 8th notes again instead of 16th notes. And just, that's fine, 2 octaves. All right. I'm going to keep using a beat so that you can kind of keep track of where the measure is, basically.
This is a 1, 2, 3, and 4 rhythm, and it's just going to keep going.
All right, so what, I forgot what key we were in. Let's go to D, because you guys know D the best. So we're starting on D, and it's chromatic. The lowest one is a D, and it's orange. If I were to just keep going up, it's a slightly different colored orange. And then yellow. And there's a lot more colors than there were in just the 8-note one. Now we have a full chromatic scale. If you don't really know what you're doing, this can lead to a lot of crazy sounding music. I'm just gonna play. I'll put some stuff in at random that I might see someone like you do. If we're looking more at the colors than knowing what the notes are doing, it's gonna get strange. So before, I kind of talked about keeping the color groupings, right? If things stay a little bit orange, but they work their way towards green, and then they move into the cooler colors, and then they come back to the warmer colors. Let's just see what this sounds like. Having all of the notes available to us, it's gonna get now it's kind of cool. I like it. One line at a time, you're gonna come up with some cool things. But now let's do what I was talking about with adding harmonies, and it's gonna be different. All right, so we've got these warmer colors. Let's try to do some stuff with the warmer colors. If that's an orange, let's start up there. That went up, let's...
Maybe move into the greener colors.
I have a pattern going here. Let's keep this pattern going. It goes down, up, and then it went down, but not all the way up. Then it went not all the way down, but all the way up. So let's do another down, up, all the way. We're gonna skip one because that's kind of what we did over here. And we want it to move into the cooler colors.
Because now we're into the blues and purples over here. We want to do this backwards check mark shape because why not? And there's a gap, so let's leave a gap here. I hit that wrong button again. There's not a gap before doing the other check mark.
And we want to end back in the orange.
And let's
See what it sounds like. I wanted to show you playing around with chromatic because it would be crazier and not sound quite as good, but that ended up sounding really cool. So, I don't know. Play around with it. Have fun. Send me something cool. I'm gonna save that one. So remember, we go here. Click copy link. It's not copied yet. Go up to it, right click, copy. Save it into a Word file. Oh, hey, look, as soon as I moved on, that one turned into a link. And then you can come and click it. So control click to follow link. So it brings that up. And remember the other one was there too, so we can go back to that very first one. This is the one that used the D major, the first 4 notes or so of D major scale. And there's that one. So I hope that gives you some fun things to do in case your instrument's broken and you can't play it. But there's something for you to do. Remember, email me those links. I'll check them out. In order to, I'll say it this way. If you email me the link and you have any song at all, it's good communication. You'll get a good thing in the organ trail in addition to your practice journal. How about this? You can get 2 good things. You can get a good thing for your practice journal, and you get a good thing if you email in a song link. The way you get the bonus at the end of the year, we're going to take all of the points that your wagon parts have earned you. So the wagon axle, the wagon tongue, and the wagon wheels. Any of those extra parts you have will give you points at the end of the year. You'll get a 2 times multiplier if you follow the instructions of what it actually means. The drum beat, a melody line, and a harmony of some kind. Cool? If you want to play, of course, definitely go get your instruments out, jump over to one of those other videos and play along with one of those. In tomorrow's video, we are going to be back to the Beethoven Violin Concerto from Book 2. So we're going to do some stuff playing in the key of F tomorrow. That'll be a stretch for some of you 5th graders, but I think if you've been practicing every day, like you can probably do it by now. And then on Thursday, we'll do some stuff with French folk song. So check out the theme from Beethoven Violin Concerto in Book 2 and French folk song in Book 1. That one on Thursday, that's in D major. It's super easy. It's going to be fun to just kind of play along and do some cool stuff with. I'm going to get to editing this video and cleaning up this garage so that I can bust the piano out tomorrow because it's a mess in here. Have a good day, guys. We'll see you later. Jump onto those Zoom lessons if you got any specific needs, and we'll see you around. Have a good day.